Use caution and use that common sense approach.
A warning tonight from police after investigators say someone robbed a Good Samaritan along Interstate 64.
Now that the federal government has denied Kentucky's request for more time to comply with the Real ID Act, how will it affect you?
How people in the community are joining the family of a murdered pregnant woman to demand justice in the case.
This is WKYT News at 6.
Good evening to you. He stopped to help someone he thought was stranded along Interstate 64, but Frankfort police say a Good Samaritan ended up being robbed and attacked.
Now, it happened early this morning at an off-ramp on exit 53. Tonight, investigators want to warn other drivers about this frightening crime. WKYT's Victor Puente has our top story at 6.
That victim was trying to do a good deed to help people he thought were stranded. That good deed led to him being stabbed and robbed. That driver was getting off the interstate around 8:45 this morning when he saw two men he thought needed help.
Apparently, the subject was ramping off on the 53B exit from I-64, and a silver pickup truck with two black males were waving at motorists as if they were stranded, needing help.
The driver stopped, and when he did, police say those two men attacked him, stabbing him several times before robbing him and taking off.
Our victim was, I think, maybe stabbed 3 or 4 times, kind of superficial wounds, nothing very serious.
He was able to make it to a neighboring Kroger where a worker called for help. They say the robbers were two black men in a silver pickup, both at least 6 feet tall, one with a muscular build. They're asking drivers to be cautious and call police if they don't feel comfortable helping someone they see stranded.
I definitely want our community and the public to help people. That's why I became a police officer. But again, use caution and use that common sense approach. If it doesn't look right, if something is absolutely out of sorts, you may not want to stop.
The major tells me that in addition to looking for that pickup, they're also looking for witnesses who may have been in this area around 8:45 this morning, may have seen where that truck was headed, or have gotten a better description. In Frankfort, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Victor, thank you. Now, Frankfort police have put out an attempt to locate on that vehicle. They say if there should be another crime of this type in neighboring counties, they'll be made aware of it.
The federal government says time is up. It will not grant Kentucky another request for an extension to update driver's licenses to comply with the Real ID Act. That means by January, Kentucky driver's licenses can't be used to enter military bases and nuclear power plants. And as WKYT's Sean Moody tells us, this could eventually keep many Kentuckians off domestic flights if the state doesn't take action.
Kentucky's Vehicle Regulation Commissioner said the vast majority of people won't see any differences in the near future. At first, it'll only apply to the Department of Homeland Security headquarters, nuclear power facilities, military facilities, places like that. But in early 2018, it'll apply to the TSA. If nothing changes by then, you'll need another ID to fly. The Real ID Act came out of the 9/11 Commission.
Some of the 9/11 attackers obtained driver's license in the Commonwealth of Virginia.
Kentucky Vehicle Regulation Commissioner John Mark said the main reason Kentucky isn't Real ID compliant is that there isn't a centralized issuing agency. Licenses are issued by clerks at the county level.
It creates a system of issuance that is not as secure as it could be.
In 2009, lawmakers voted to block the Transportation Cabinet from pursuing Real ID compliance, citing unrealistic requirements and burden on taxpayers. This year, Governor Matt Bevin vetoed a bill that would have the state work toward compliance. He said he did that because there was a lot of public opposition and misunderstanding.
Some people were concerned that the Real ID Act represents the creation of a national identification card database. And that's just not the case.
The latest Real ID compliance extension expired yesterday. DHS denied Kentucky's request for another extension, so starting in January, you won't be able to use a Kentucky driver's license to get into places like nuclear power plants and some military facilities. Most Kentuckians won't notice an impact until January 2018. That's when the TSA will no longer accept Kentucky's driver's licenses to board airline flights. Hack, though, thinks the state will make changes by then.
I think that as we address those, Homeland Security is going to back off of that deadline.
Commissioner Hack said the state could reapply for an extension anytime. In Frankfort, Sean Moody, WKYT.
Well, as Sean mentioned, the Real ID Act was a recommendation of the 9/11 Commission. It was passed in 2005. That goal was to set standards for all sources of identification like driver's licenses. It was supposed to go into effect in 2008, but many states, like Kentucky, didn't comply. Now, more than a decade later, Kentucky remains a holdout, prompting today's decision to not give the state an extension. For more information on problems with Kentucky driver's licenses and the Real ID Act, just head over to WKYT.com.
Well, they say they're not giving up until they know who killed her. The family of a pregnant woman murdered in Lexington still hasn't received answers in the case. Police say both Mariah Coleman and her unborn baby died in a shooting on Winburn Drive last month. A march for justice in the case is getting underway downtown. WKYT's Monique Blair joins us live now with the very latest. Monique?
Hi, Barbara. That rally is just now getting started here behind me. Today was the day Mariah Coleman was scheduled to give birth. Now her family hopes that by coming here together in the heart of the city, that it will really show the public just how much they want justice for Mariah Coleman and her unborn son, Jacoby Jones. Now this rally is being held to make sure people don't forget that 22-year-old Mariah Coleman and her unborn child were shot and killed a little more than a month ago. Police have publicly said they believe Mariah was just an innocent bystander when she was shot by a stray bullet while out walking her dog on Winburn Avenue. Police have also said they believe there were several people nearby when Mariah was shot, but at this time no arrests have been made, and now Mariah's family and Jacoby's father's side of the family are out here pleading the public for justice.
I'm just really emotional. I mean, you know, everyone was so excited to have Jacoby in our lives, and for someone to just rob us of that, you know, it's hard. It's really hard.
Now you can see there are a lot of people out here wearing yellow, and that's because it was Mariah Coleman's favorite color. So a lot of people out here are wearing these shirts in honor of Mariah, who's on this shirt. Also baby Jacoby, whose feet prints are shown here, and this picture was taken from the hospital room. I'm reporting live in Lexington, Monique Blair, WKYT.
All right, Monique, thank you. And there's also a petition being passed around at the rally asking the city to install surveillance cameras on Winburn Drive. New tonight, the Fayette County Detention Center now says it mistakenly claimed an inmate didn't return from a court-ordered pass. Jail leaders say Isaac Moody actually received an extension of his furlough, which now runs out at 6 o'clock Friday night. They say missing paperwork led to the mix-up. An escape charge against Moody has been dropped. Moody told us he was given the extension to finish some artwork he'd been commissioned to paint.
It has been another sunny and warm day, but we have some changes in our weather coming, and those changes start tonight. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey joins us now with a look at what's heading our way.
Yeah, the changes are getting very close now. A mild afternoon, those sunny skies giving way now to some cloud cover. Gusty winds, you know that's kind of the recipe to get in on some changes. 70s on a southwesterly wind. That's across Kentucky. Let's go back just to our west. We go into the 60s, into southern parts of Indiana, then the 50s, and then the 40s start to show up. That, my friends, is a cold front, and it is on the move toward the Bluegrass State. Out ahead of that, a little cloud cover and an isolated shower, a thunderstorm. A little batch of some rain there in Missouri, trying to ramp it up a little bit. Let's hope that holds together. That would give us at least a shot for some showers overnight into early tomorrow. But right now, if you're a sunset lover, the high clouds that are coming into central Kentucky right now should make for another fiery sunset. But unlike last night, eventually those clouds will produce some rain. Here's the hour-by-hour future radar as we go through the evening. Maybe a sprinkle showing up by 10 or 11 o'clock tonight. And then through the remainder of the overnight into early tomorrow morning, that would be some lighter rains. And that model is picking up on that batch of some heavier rain into Missouri. And look at that, 6 o'clock tomorrow morning from Owensboro to Bowling Green, showing that round of rain trying to get into parts of western and central Kentucky. This isn't a ton of moisture that I'm seeing with this front, but we are seeing much cooler air, and I do have at least two more cold fronts that will follow suit. We'll touch on that with a brand new hour-by-hour forecast into the start of the weekend here in about 10 minutes.
Sounds good, Chris. Thank you. New tonight, investigators are looking for a man they say caused some tense moments in Scott County today.
The Scott County Sheriff's Office says some children were on a field trip to Evans Orchard when a man walked up to one of the children on the playground. The sheriff says the man grabbed the child's hand and told them they were going to find his teacher. The sheriff says the man led the child towards some school buses when some bus drivers saw what was going on and stepped in. The child then went back to the playground and the man walked away. The sheriff says investigators want to know what the man's intentions were.
I would ask him to come forward and let us know what was going on. If he thought the child was lost or something like that, come forward and let us know so that this is not a mystery.
Now, the sheriff says they're looking for a white man about 5'9" with a thin white beard and in his 60s. He also says he wants people to know that Evans Orchard is a safe place.
New tonight, an opinion filed today by a federal judge says some people who had their disability benefits suspended were treated unconstitutionally by the Social Security Administration. Those people are all former clients of Eastern Kentucky attorney Eric C. Kahn, who's facing charges in a federal disability scheme. The judge's opinion says these clients were not given a chance to challenge the government's claims that they received disability benefits by fraudulent means. The judge remanded the case to the Social Security Administration for more proceedings consistent with the opinion. New tonight, state police need your help finding an Eastern Kentucky man they say disappeared more than 6 weeks ago. Family members of 48-year-old Scotty Lee Standiford say they haven't heard from him since August 28th. Police say he's originally from McGoffin County, but he was last known to be staying in the Happy community of Perry County. At this point, police say they're not sure why Standiford disappeared.
If you're planning to do some shopping on Thanksgiving this year, Fayette Mall won't be an option. Next on WKYT News at 6, why the mall won't be open on the holiday.
And then a Lexington inventor has been honored with a new sculpture that's now on display at Bluegrass Airport. New tonight, Fayette Mall is joining the growing list of businesses that will not be open on Thanksgiving Day this year.
Now, last year, Fayette Mall opened at 6 o'clock Thanksgiving night. But mall leaders say after talking to mall employees, retail partners, and shoppers, they decided it would be better to close on Thanksgiving and open at 6 a.m. on Black Friday. They say being open on Thanksgiving didn't have a huge impact on overall holiday sales.
We really found that it would be more sense to just open on Black Friday, bring it all back to there. A lot of family and friends and our retailers are really excited about the fact that they won't have to be there on Thanksgiving.
Now, Fayette Mall leaders say stores with exterior mall entrances will have the option to open for business on Thanksgiving if they choose.
New tonight, Bluegrass Airport has unveiled a bronze sculpture of a Lexington man who invented the backpack parachute. Captain Solomon Lee Van Meter's invention in 1916 would later help pilots during times of war. While the parachute was around before Van Meter, he's credited with changing the device to pilots so that they could easily maneuver away from their planes in case they had to eject.
It's just a great honor for him. It's a great honor for our family, but it's really to him because he did the work that has probably saved millions of lives over the last, I guess, 100 years.
Amanda Matthews designed the sculpture. It will be on temporary display in the airport lobby.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
A little cloud cover showing up to give us another fiery sunset in the Bluegrass State, but the clouds that are out there this evening will also bring about some changes tonight. Tomorrow you get some rain and you get a lot cooler temperatures on the move. Let us take a look at this sunset. How about that, huh? Clouds are beginning to filter on into central Kentucky right now, so in just a matter of minutes, the sun will be shrouded in some thicker overcast. 75 degrees Lexington. Humidity still bone dry at 34%. Rare to see the humidity that low on a southwesterly wind. That's normally a little more of a moist flow, but it is down there right now. It just means the Gulf of Mexico is pretty much closed for business. Not getting a whole lot of juice coming out of the Gulf into our front. Low and mid 70s, central Kentucky, but the 40s, the 50s, and the 60s are just off to our west. Hey, how about tomorrow? The 50s, the 60s, and by tomorrow night, the 40s start to show up around here. And you'll get in on some gusty showers first part of tomorrow. Not a ton of rain, but we'll take whatever we can get. It's a dry time of the year to begin with, just a little drier than normal this dry time of the year. Defender Radar Network have got the clouds into the mix to show you how we are indeed getting the overcast in. Going to keep an eye on this little band of some heavier rains into Missouri. Some of the shorter range models suggest that will try to make a run at us late tonight, early tomorrow morning. Actually, some potent little thunderstorms into northern Arkansas, some of those going severe. Nothing like that around here, though. It's that colder air that is going to settle on into town for the next couple of days. So a gusty shower or two around tomorrow morning. Be patient if you want some sunshine. The deeper you get into the afternoon, the better the chance we'll see some sun, and it's a much cooler day overall. Cool wind is going to continue to blow on Friday. Watch for a late day shower southern Kentucky. It's Friday night into Saturday that I think the shower chance is on the increase a little bit. I'm not seeing this as a washout. If you have something to do outdoors this Saturday, let's face it, it's the middle of October. We've got a lot to do outdoors on a weekend. Just have a plan B to be safe. Let's concentrate on the first front before we get into that Saturday forecast. Look at out ahead of this. Southwesterly wind behind that, boom. Temperatures drop like the proverbial rock. 37 right now, International Falls. 91 degrees Dallas, Texas, 54 Oklahoma City. That's a pretty strong little cold front, isn't it? And that front is on the move across the United States right now. Here's that new hour-by-hour forecast. Watching for at least a shower late this evening. A little better chance tonight, early tomorrow morning. Nothing that is just going to add up and give you a big-time drink of water as of now. Clouds will slowly dissipate tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening into Friday morning. We may see an upper 30 try to pop in some of those colder valleys. Friday afternoon looks dry for many of us, but look what happens late Friday and into Saturday. The models are really trying to ramp up the rain chances again into parts of central and eastern Kentucky. So we've upped those chances a little bit on Saturday. I've lowered Sunday from yesterday, though still a late day shower or thunderstorm is possible. And as of now, guys, this does not look like a washout by any means for the weekend. We'll mild it up early next week. I think by the end of the week, the coldest air of the young fall season is waiting in the wings.
So wait and see, right?
That's it.
Chris, thank you.
Well, just ahead, Matthew Mitchell is looking forward to another Big Blue Madness.
Well, he is, and the fans are always interested in what Matthew has cooked up. He will have something this year. And Derek Willis returning for his senior season as a Wildcat. How has he worked through his arrest in June? What about the season ahead? Sports is next. Derek Willis proved last season he can help the Wildcats win. Now he reaches his senior season at Kentucky. He says he has moved on from an unfortunate off-season incident. Derek Willis is coming off a breakout season. After a loss at Auburn, John Calipari put him in the lineup and things opened up. The Cats quickly won 3 in a row.
I feel like I did what nobody else in the nation did, and that was like open up the floor. You have a power forward that you can't leave open. It was really good offensively for us. I think that broke us open really well.
Willis has been working his way through an arrest last June on an alcohol-related charge. He calls it a huge learning experience.
It doesn't reflect the person that I am, but it's just a mistake I made, just like anybody else makes mistakes. So I'm going to make many more probably in my lifetime, just like anybody else. So.
Willis said it's in the past, and the incident has helped him refocus on basketball, where the issue has been defense. He says it comes down to 2 things.
The aspect of having the passion, the heart, and the drive to want to actually stop someone, and then the other part was letting what your body's going to let you do. So that's where I felt like I need to be more flexible, get stronger, be able to play lower. All those things factor in.
John Calipari says Willis has been unbelievable. First one in the gym, last one out. Hopefully the hard work over the summer will pay off.
We weightlifted pretty much every day. So, with that, I gained 15 pounds, and I just felt like my body was stronger. When we played pickup games, I just felt like I could last more. I was pushing people around. It was better.
Matthew Mitchell has made dancing at Big Blue Madness a tradition. So the question is, will the UK women's coach break out another routine Friday night? Mitchell says something will go down in Rupp Arena for Madness. You'll remember him for his actions, Michael Jackson's moves, and doing the Dougie. Mitchell says he's flattered that fans have come to expect something from him.
I don't know if the bar's high or if it's low. I don't know if it's high or if it's just low on the intelligence factor, because I'm not sure many sensible people would do what I do out there, but for some reason, people want to see it and enjoy it, and so I try to have as much fun with it. It's a fun night. I'm happy that people can get some kind of joy out of that few moments of silliness there.
And we will get you ready for Big Blue Madness Friday at 5:30 on the CW Lexington. Countdown to Madness with Dave Baker and Christy Thomas, a 90-minute preview of this year's Wildcats. And UK coach Mark Stoops updating the status of Matt Elam and Drew Barker on the SEC teleconference today. Stoops said he expects Elam back for the Mississippi State game as long as there are no further setbacks. Elam did not play Saturday against Vandy. Now, as for Barker, Stoops said he's being evaluated every day. He said caution is being taken with his rehab, no plans to play him against Mississippi State, and he remains week to week. Cats are not back in action until October 22nd, so they have a break this weekend, but on the 22nd, it's Mississippi State, 7:30 kickoff on the SEC Network. And that's sports. Barb, Amber, back to you.
A final check of your First Alert forecast is next.
And then on the CBS Evening News, the latest from both the Clinton and Trump campaigns, including an interview with Republican vice presidential nominee Mike Pence. We are awaiting some changes headed our way.
Yeah, starting to see those changes. Western Kentucky right now. There's your cold front. It will be on top of us late tonight, early tomorrow morning. Colder air, the chance for some showers with that. We'll track that coming up on the CW Lexington in just a moment.
It's on the way.
Thanks so much for joining us tonight. I'll see you back here tonight at 11.